Chapter 2 Week 2 Concerning Scale and Scope Limited to the Sky Towards Feasible Goals. How do you think we should consider scale and scope?
First off, it was a pleasure meeting with you August 30th, 2021 as you helped us clarify a lot of things we had yet to consider. It is good to see more people who think of better ways to improve community life for the betterment of humanity. Below is an outline of how we think we should approach this grant writing process as thoroughly as possible. Please consider below thinking about how we can edit it to fit our needs at your bank. Our proposal is set up so as the only reason we wouldn't get the grant is if you had something against us personally, and we can't help that, but we can help our presentation. It may go as follows. Initially, we will introduce our company or organization and what we provide as the Greater Assembly for the Advocation of Fresh Flowers. Whether for profit or not, the organization is dedicated to improving the standard of living in this grant for veterans of the greater Memphis area and consequently the larger county and state, as each one we help benefits the environment and subsequently brightens the atmosphere. Introducing our company's name, what it offers or provides and how what it offers or provides can benefit is the essence of our proposal to any of your banks. Secondly, we will identify the problem in our community, interviewing as many deprived veterans who don't have fresh flowers to brighten their atmosphere. With veterans being more prone to violence, because of their basic and subsequent training in the military, brightening their moods is of the utmost importance in society. We are here to do just that with fresh flowers to brighten their atmospheres and positively affects their moods. Other people consider other things, but we do so fresh flowers as the solution to mankind's ailments, and we are not going to stop until every room in every home in the city has fresh flowers in it to brighten the atmosphere and bring about a positive change. Thirdly, we will conduct case studies interviewing John, a flower-deprived veteran, Jesse, a veteran with no flowers, and George, a veteran who doesn't even like flowers. Interviewing these veterans who are deprived of fresh flowers is easy as we look to those who don't see them as a priority. Many veterans are utilitarian who have yet to see the aesthetic value of fresh flowers for having to consider other things while in the service, but we are here to remind them of their value and importance in our everyday lives. Fourthly, we will gather and analyze statistics from other cities like Chattanooga, Nashville, and Knoxville on veterans without fresh flowers. Surely, we are not the only city whose veterans suffer from the lack of fresh flowers to brighten their atmosphere. Some companies promote literature while others promote baseball. We promote flowers. Fifthly, we will define the solution as the distribution of fresh flowers to those in locations without. How else will we combat the problem without sending support to the front lines of the battle? Just as the hardest of men softens to the touch of an infant, so too does the presentation of fresh flowers brighten an atmosphere. We cannot ship enough as the demand grows more and more. The war against negativity in our belief comes from nature's vegetative fruit in fresh flowers, and having a surplus, we would prefer to distribute them before they wilt so that someone will, if not appreciate them, benefit from others who do. Sixth, we will promote case studies in other cities such as St. Louis, Atlanta, and Dallas where veterans living without fresh flowers were introduced to them, which heightened their moods. With one veteran surrounded by fresh flowers progressing, while another without suffers with the economic challenge of finding a job, because he frowns more than the one with fresh flowers, we can't help but record such instances which help prove our point. It is not difficult to document such statistics for our research support, but the legwork must be done, and not everyone has the time. Sure, there are those without who prosper more, but we are not focusing on them. We promote the aesthetic beauty in fresh flowers as superior to the might and muscle of military coercion. We can profit more without fresh flowers, but it is easier with them to brighten our moods. Seventh, we will propose similar actions to satisfy our market in Memphis to brighten the atmosphere of those without fresh flowers. Sure, this is just our opinion, where as well would be the color of the fresh flowers, but research shows, or at least we will find research supporting the fact that they can brighten the atmosphere. That is our job alone, to explain the benefit of fresh flowers on the psyche of an individual who encounters them. We know it is true, because of the way they make us feel when we see and smell them, but others who may not be as familiar or as used to fresh flowers may not buy them, but they won't reject them. Eighthly, we will draw up an operating budget for the foundational maintenance of having fresh flowers shipped to those areas and veterans on a bi-weekly basis for a year. Of the 500 or so veterans we plan to distribute fresh flowers to, we have to multiply that number by whatever the unit price will be after we include tax, storage, shipping, arrangement, packaging, administration, and other small fees. Not that those other factors are that much, but it is important to know so that we won't request too little from your banks for our grant, as you won't give us a penny more while demanding nothing less of what we said we would do. 11th, which may be the final but actually the first step, we will present qualifications to back our ability to provide fresh flowers to those locations on a yearly basis to brighten the atmosphere of their environment. The plan to brighten the atmosphere of the members who are perhaps the most violent, because they have been exposed to much worse than the average man or woman, can be summed up in a simple schedule of bi-weekly flower distribution to selected veterans who have accepted participation in our program to do just that.
Wow. That sounds like an excellent idea, but you don't deal in fresh flowers, so why bring it up?
I was just trying to get the general idea of a grant.